en el feed, salía previous client y buscamos editor de video
English,
para
English.
piano school.
Do it in English.
And it was Jeremy, the guy from We Are Play Academy. And like, oh, what happened with this guy? And I entered his account and I saw other job postings. And like 1 week after he fired me and Brian because he was not able to pay us, he was demanding a lot for very little money. I saw that he hired someone else to finish the design. And it was a UI designer that also was a developer. And the contract was for $45,000. And like, bro, this guy was putting us to work for peanuts, but hired someone for 45K. Entonces, there is some learnings there. I'm still not sure what are they. And I agree, I have to be like a master of everything. I would love to code, I would love to do graphic design, I would love to do illustration, but it's not feasible to do it everything at the same time.
Yes, like that.
So
Mae, podemos hablar en español todos.
okay,
Broskis, básicamente, decidan un overview del gig, ¿verdad? Lo más eficiente posible. En la meeting más próxima es la próxima semana, el viernes, dijiste.
yeah,
Next week, Friday.
next week, right.
Ah, that's really good, bro. Entonces, sí, nada más para que Beto esté anuente del
Okay.
scope del proyecto. Mae, puedes compartir pantalla si lo consideras apropiado. Y Beto, en su caso
Yes.
sería nada más perspectiva de dev, ¿verdad? Aquí lo que estamos es apoyando a un miembro de FN, ¿verdad? Daniel de la Plana, a que no se sienta solo con respecto a la parte técnica, porque estamos de acuerdo que él es un designer. Entonces es Core Team Freelance Nav, mae, ayudando a una persona para que se sienta acompañada y demás.
Yep. Let's, let's go. Ok, bueno, esto es una startup de Music Education, está enfocado en piano, tienen pues la idea de eventualmente meter otros instrumentos, etcétera, pero de momento es
By the
completamente...
way, my guy, mae, son toques, son toques. Did it in English, English overview.
All right, this is a music education startup called Piano Pilgrims. It's currently developed in California. Well, the founders are from California. This is a starting from scratch. Like they don't have brand logos, they don't have color palettes, they don't have website, they don't have nothing. We're creating it from scratch. So the whole work, well, basically this is gonna be like a social, gamified piano learning platform. You know, these are the wireframes that the previous team did. They just want to have like a adventure throughout the world type of thing. So every chapter is in like a different country, and every module is like in a region of the country. So there is like different career paths or skill trees, like an RPG. So in terms of like musicianship and in terms of like piano mastery, and they broke down in different areas. So they have these very basic wireframes. There's like a lot of screens, a lot of animations, all of the gamification things. You complete a lesson, you get uh, 10 points, the map updates, you get badges after completing X amount of challenges. You have like a passport in which you get like stamps for the different modules. So a module one in Spain gives you a Spanish stamp, whatever. So the thing is the project has to be like they want to use AI in order to personalize feedback to students. So the app has to listen to the player playing, and then pitch recognition tells if the note was played correctly or if it was not. Um, then is broken down the experience into micro content, like a 1 minute lesson or longer content for more theoretical things, like, like 5 minutes, 10 minutes. Um, so that's a little bit of that. So what I've been working at this moment has been defining the whole strategy of the product. Like, how is the curriculum gonna be? What is their skill trees? What are the objectives? The user experience overall, creating a concept, creating a narrative, exploring a little bit concept statements, to talk about the project, doing the whole analysis of the 8 core drives of the Octalysis framework, identifying the player types, creating the narrative design, coming up with, an analysis of the user research insights, like we have been interviewing students, surveying students, asking for their pain points, all of that. Then defining what are the scope or the business metrics that they want to be hitting, then what are the actions they want the users to do, then moving on to the whole ideation thing, thinking about features, thinking about like badges, thinking about games or challenges, then having that in a spreadsheet. So the they had like another team in Ukraine doing wireframes, but the work is horrible. It's completely messy. Um, it's very disorganized. There's a lot of screens. It's just a lot of screens. Um, but yeah, this is the type of things that we need to have, like countries visited, number of the streaks, days consecutive playing, leaderboards, you know. Obviously, we are gonna be starting with an MVP. So we're gonna be having just the basic version of a product, and it's gonna be expanding as we go. But even as an MVP, there's a lot of things going on in terms of like software and stuff. So um,
Cool. So we are building an application or a web application.
application.
And this is going to be like a Swift native, or what are we doing?
Yeah, it's just a mobile app with a landing page that moves people to the app. So it's gonna be completely native,
Native in for iOS or
both
Android?
iOS and Android.
Okay, so that will require then Flutter to deploy the apps in both devices.
It could use Flutter, yes. Or it could use
Okay.
React Native too.
And it's important to consider the fact that uploading the app to the Apple Store, it's a whole process. So be wary about the Apple Store's terms of service requirements, because all of this stuff will have to be considered within the app. So we get approved, and, and people can actually access the app through the Apple Store. Important to consider.
Okay. Um, I don't understand. I know this is like programming languages, right? But when you tell me Flutter and then you tell me React, what does that mean?
Yep. So Flutter is a type of language that allows you to build one code base and then deploy the same app in both devices, Android, iOS, with the same code.
And React, what is the difference?
It's kind of the same, kind of similar. It's just the difference is Flutter as a specific language that you have to learn, start. In React Native, you can pretty much hire like a lot more people know TypeScript, which is the language that React uses. And then React Native, like React Native is used on a lot of websites. So there's a lot of developers that know it. There's a lot of people that know it. And React Native is like a different type of flavor of React, and which allows making apps for mobile apps. And so you can ship both to Android and to iOS,
Okay.
which
Got
is much simpler. Like you don't like it would be too complicated if you had to do it like twice, or to like have to mess up with something so that it works. Some frameworks like Flutter or React. There are some frameworks used for creating apps like Swift that you can do apps for iOS, and then porting into Android is a pain, right? So removing that pain, here's where it comes Flutter and React Native. You can just use that, and you don't have to think about those problems in the future. You can just build the app and you know that it's going to work well.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
So in terms of a project like this, when there is, the lessons, they want to have like mini games. I was talking with this guy, Kainer. He will be down to doing the games using Godot or something, I think.
Yeah,
But yeah,
no, but careful because that's a specific type of uh building a language for gaming.
yeah,
So
that's what I was going to ask. So if he says, "Oh, doing these mini games is best in this language," or "This is the language I will suggest," how will connect with this whole thing?
Yeah, that I don't even know if possible. So, like you like, either you make it all on Godot, or all in Unity, or all in Flutter, or all in React Native, right? So if it's game focused, if it was like a very heavy game, like a 3D kind of thing, Unity would be best, right? Because Unity handles 3D, but Flutter, it's like mostly for forms, tabs, and mini games that you can like quickly traffic through it, right?
It will be in 2D, so
Right,
it's going to be just simple drawings.
right.
Um, but in that way, can you do the whole skeleton of the app in Flutter or React, and also do those mini games? Like how does that work?
Let me check you that, because if that's possible, then I think that would be, it hurts my brain to think about doing that. It's just better to just pick one and stick with it. In terms of kind of, I think it's just in terms of kind of maintenance, right? Like if the game fails and nobody knows Godot, but everyone knows TypeScript,
Mm.
let me see.
Okay, okay, okay,
good
good.
stuff, bro. These are good things to consider. This is really good.
Yeah, I appreciate that. I make these newbie questions because this is like the first time I'm working in full coded project. Other experiences I have been like coding with like CSS, JavaScript, and WordPress. So that's easier for me to understand. But this type of thing is completely new territory, so I'm new. Right.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah,
Good stuff.
thanks for that. Now, when I tell you that there is many screens, there's so many activities, like the app remembers you, the app hears what you play. I've been using a competitor. I've been using a couple of competitors to see how they do the pitch recognition and stuff. Um, in terms of the collaboration between design and development, how do you like to work? And what would be a good advice to tell me? For example, like take a look at these other wireframes. They're very disorganized. There's like a lot of user flow. So this is what the other team did before I arrived at the project, and it's 90% garbage. Okay,
So
okay.
the first thing, my friend, is you can stop sharing. We're gonna fix this stuff for sure. The first thing is always is the PRD document. the product requirements document. You want to make sure that's a real MVP. It means 3 to 5 core features. Usually an MVP has no games. It's more of finding interactive ways to keep people engaged with the app. In any case, I would even talk to the client in terms of what they want to do, an app, why not a web app? So we have to think really high level. We need to go and discuss the business needs. What's the outcome that the product is trying to achieve, you know? Usually for us to build an app, there's got to be a clear list of reasons why, not just the fact that the client feels like wants an app and has some money. So a web app might be the best way to build a real MVP. So these are all things to talk to the client about. For now, bro, build the PRD. First things is to build the PRD, grab and analyze all of the screens and everything that the previous company did, documented, have a specific questions for when you talk to the client in terms of why did they build this workflow or that workflow or this feature and that feature. Ultimately, as a product manager, you want to make sure that you understand business needs and you translate business needs into core features. It's not just about building an app and, just charging the client. You want to really understand how you can make some cash for the client so that the investment makes sense. So that's the first thing. Document everything that it's there in your own PRD document. Sit down, document it, understand it. And then
What is, sorry, what is what I have to capture specifically about the previous wireframes? That's a,
understand what they did and then have the entire context so that once you talk to the client, you can ask specific questions like, hey, I see that they have this workflow or this feature. What do you think about that feature? Why did they build it? You wanna really understand the entire context retrospectively of what happened for the project as of today, document it in your own way, and then have a call with the client to understand the business needs so that you understand one, business needs and outcomes, then the entire context of the product thus far, and then you have it documented in your own way. And then you can make a proposal for an actual project.
okay. Yeah, because the previous UX team like just started right away to do wireframes.
Yep.
There was no UX research, there was nothing, no concept, nothing. Just jumping to do wireframes
Mhm.
that make no sense. So, okay, so I'm gonna make that. The other thing, yes, I agree. Like an MVP doesn't need to have like the video games and like all of the crazy components. But I'm asking because even if we start with the bare minimum of a skeleton, it has to be, something that adds up later. So something that can be integrated and not that we build an MVP and then we have to delete it all and then build something again, or if that is the way we do it. That's why I'm asking. I really don't know. So how do you do that, Beto? When you move with a MVP and then version one of a project, do you reutilize stuff or do you start from scratch? How's that?
So yeah, I mean, you need to create the core features, like whatever brings the most value. Whatever brings the most value most of the time can be used. So the the game, like creating the profiles, that's it. You create the profiles. Create them again or delete them. Creating one simple game and like game types. That's it. That's it. You can build on top of that. But the real I mean, yeah, yeah. I mean, as an engineer, you can set up stuff so that it's really easy to grow later. You don't have to delete it. If
Okay.
if you were to do like weird integrations, like if you were to try to create Godot and React integrations, I would rather delete that than creating like a single Godot app. Why? Just because you have one code base and like switching between code bases is just all like doing just the coding is all very complicated. You don't want to make it any more complicated. It's not necessary. Doesn't really add anything. So you just pick one, right? And most of the time, everything is pretty much scaled, to be honest. So there's no problem in deleting anything once you build it. And
Okay.
no, not really necessary.
Okay. So for me right now, next steps will be taking well this like report from the previous UX team, picking up the three main things for usability in terms of like context, like creating your account, doing the curriculum, and I will have to find something else that complements those two main actions. And then with that,
Yeah, good,
I
good. I got
will
you. I got you, homie. So for the very first thing is product managers, they become more of an expert at the product and the business than the client. So the next call, what you want to do is delight the client, not with user experience or gamification systems, but with the Bible of the project. Everything that happened thus far to make it evident that you understand the entire context. So step one, bro, you have access to the product requirements document we used to do at Gitster. So and if you don't have it, just make a school post, tag me, request access.
this is just quickly sharing. This is the what I've been using as a PRD. So key documents, research and documents, resources, timeline and milestones, phase one, phase two, phase three, phase one, milestone one, analysis, research. This is what I've been doing for PRD.
Yes. Um, mhm. Well, you changed it, but yeah, it's a good start. A good start. Homie, make a school post. Make a school post of the product, like I said earlier, and add me, and just be and add this PRD. Make sure it's open, and I'm gonna reply in the comment with the right PRD so that you can just remake it. In any case, bro, this is a really good opportunity for you to do product, straight up product. And the big suggestion here is to make sure that in the next call, hope, in the next call you can kill it to the point where this is going to be a retainer for the next 6 to 8 months, and then you can only focus on this one project, this one gig, so that you can enjoy the entire product life cycle. So let's just take it step by step. Make this cool post with the product, the project. Make sure that it's evident that you're looking for extra hands because you're gonna need help. And don't worry about the cash. Just like make evident that you need perspective, just like Beto is helping for free. And paste the PRD, tags me asking for feedback. I'm gonna give you a specific feedback, and then I'm gonna add the link to the right PRD so that you can make it and respect the format. Because right now you're adding different colors and stuff like that. It looks unprofessional. So we're gonna just make it look corporate, like like a badass PRD, like if you got paid 20K for 2 weeks type of thing.
Got
So
it.
step by step, home. Let's don't freak out. You good. We'll do it step by step.
Okay. Yeah, I'm not freaking out. I'm very excited about this. It's just I'm asking for this because I don't want to make mistakes or more mistakes than necessary.
Yeah, that is cool, bro. This is an exciting gig. I'm not gonna lie. This is really cool.
Yeah, absolutely.
And
Okay, thank you.
with this product in place, you can basically start building entire software products, bro. So it's
Yeah,
gonna
if I can make this work, that will be a huge level up
be.
for sure.
All right, broski.
Yeah.
Good to see you.
I wanna mention that Duolingo uses React Native, just React Native. Doesn't
React
use
Native.
Godot, just use any Unity because the games are super simple. It's just like listening to something, writing text, you know. So like it's not like a 2D platform or shooter, you know. That's the kind of thing you would do in Godot, not really on React
Okay.
Native. But since the game it's kind of just like that, React Native does the job. Or
Okay.
Flutter. That
Perfect. Beto, any last recommendation in terms of like the wireframes and prototypes?
I would need more context to be honest to understand like
Yeah, bro. No
what
need,
are you
no,
guys.
no, wait. No work, no wireframes. No. BRD.
Yeah, yeah. I would search why are these guys doing it? What are the competitors? Is this actually gonna work? Because if I just start doing wireframes, I'm here for getting paid, not for this making it work, right? So you wanna see it like I guess from a bird's eye higher top of view and be like, why are we doing this? What are our competitors? How do they look like? How do they handle it? And why they do it, right? And then once that is set up, then it would make sense to, okay, now we have some ground to make wireframes that make sense based on what already works on the market,
Okay.
not on what I think will work, right?
Okay. Carlos, you also mentioned to ask why they are not doing like a web app instead of a native app. Um, could you elaborate a little bit on that?
Yep.
What it means, a web app instead of a app?
Yeah, man. Yeah, for sure. It's less friction. You know, if you think about it, getting an app approved in the Apple Store is a mess, and people need to download it, accept the download. It's a lot of friction for new users. So, online web app where people can just like log in and play anywhere from their phone or their desktops. Um, as long as we understand what is the business, it's just less friction.
Okay. Okay.
The good thing with Flutter is that you can ship either apps or make a website that, or like make an app for Android or make an app for iOS. And you just build it once and it works for everything. So if you build a web app on Flutter, and I think React Native can also do it, you can just host it as a website. And in the future, you don't have to make work to make it work for Android. You just keep building it. You just ship it. Works out of the box.
So with a web app doing Flutter or React, can you have like a website and app?
React Native.
React.
I think Flutter. I do know that you can make a web app. Like you can just post it, just the site. You put the URL, you get in. That's it. And you also go and you can also publish it to the Android app, the Android store. So you can download it on your phone too. And you build one app, and it ships to Android, iOS, and also you can make it a website, web app in this case.
Okay.
So that is much simpler for development. You don't want to be like creating the app multiple times. Like so that's making it work twice almost. So or having to figure out how to make it work for Android because the website, complicated. You want to focus on building things, not on solving how to ship it,
Okay. Got it. Got it. All right. Any
Exciting,
last?
bro.
Yeah, yeah. Any closing thoughts or anything else?
No, bro. I would. My closing thoughts are focus on the PRD, get all the context. Like it's the best way. It's the best way, short, mid, long term. Document everything, build the new PRD. You wanna really know this product more than just like the client itself. And we'll take it from there, bro. Once we have the entire context, we can proceed to talk to the client and be like, okay, let's talk about the business, and then we can make a formal proposal, like an actual proposal for the product that's gonna achieve those goals, not just make a game just because.
Mhm. Mhm. Absolutely. Perfect.
Lovely, man. Exciting. Let's go.
Yeah, yeah. Awesome. Thank you,
GG.
guys. Thank you, Beto. Thank you, Carlos.